Okay. Oh, stream is live. All right.
Okay. There it is. We are live. What's up, everybody? Today, we're going to talk about Galveston Island transparency and his many unlawful arrests and his lawsuit. But before we get to that, everybody knows my partner, Reluctant Prophet. Say hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? I don't know if it worked this time, but that's all right. I'm looking for mine live so I can see the chat. Hope you had a good Sunday too, Gloria.
So Bruce started picking up the camera, what was it, about 3 years ago, Bruce?
I think it's about, well, yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, it all started out in his driveway. He was recording a cop in his driveway, and he got attacked, tased, maced. He beat his leg with the camera. That wasn't the start. The start was at the boat ramp. But we're going to get into all that. But Bruce did not just take these arrests and disappear like most people. He's fighting back. He's filed lawsuits. And Bruce reached out to a lot of people and told a lot of people about the problem in Galveston. One person was me. Remember that, Bruce?
Yep.
Bruce talked me into coming down to Galveston for the first time. So I just want to say to these cops that harass you over and over and over again, look what you caused yourself. Because now, not only do you have Bruce, but you have Bruce and Harvey Freebird. So
the dynamic duo.
The dynamic duo.
Galveston. I love
it. Look, when Bruce invited me down there, I came down there just for a visit. And within the 24 hours that I was there, Officer Gardner pulled me over and gave me a bogus ticket for running a red light. And then the next night, Sergeant Gaynor, the infamous drop your pocket, happened. So I was in Galveston less than 24 hours, and I got a bogus ticket and arrested. And I was like, okay, Bruce ain't bullshitting. These guys are out of control. So they've been dealing with me ever since. So here is the lawsuit that Bruce has filed. Let's just take a quick glance at it.
We already skipped the arrest and already to the lawsuit?
No. We're gonna get to the arrest because I just want to lay out the lawsuit, and then when we go down here where it starts talking about the arrest, then I'm going to play the video. But right now, I just want to lay this out. So here you have Bruce Redmond. He's Galveston Island Transparency. And as you can see, there's 3 police officers listed in this lawsuit because this lawsuit is 3 different arrests. It's a little bit different than most lawsuits, but they combined 3 unlawful arrests into one lawsuit. And here is the complaint. And that is an error right there. It says Mr. Followell. That's an error. I shouldn't even have pointed that out. But it says plaintiff Bruce Redmond, through his counsel, C.J. Grisham, brings this complaint against the city of Galveston, Joel Caldwell, Jack Doherty, and Officer Franklin. And a lot of this is just formalities. Let's go down to the good stuff. Here it says Bruce is a citizen and a taxpayer of Galveston. And Bruce is a citizen journalist with a focus on exposing police misconduct and abuses in government. Mr. Redmond has a substantial interest in protecting his civil rights and not having them violated by government officials. And then we have the defendants here. They have listed 3 defendants, and we just went over that. So I'm just going to kind of skip past this. And now, statement of facts. This is the first arrest right here that Bruce encountered. It says boat ramp incident. And it says June of 2022. So about 2 years ago, Mr. Redmond heard a call for service near his home, approached a boat dock to document what was going on with his camera. Mr. Redmond approached officers to inquire as to what was going on and stopped approximately 50 feet away from them. There's a picture right there. Should we watch the video there, or do you want me to keep reading?
Let's just breeze over it real quick, and then we'll watch the video so everybody knows what to look for.
Sounds good. Here it says, Defendant Franklin, which is Officer Franklin, immediately shined his flashlight on Redmond's camera, prohibiting him from documenting the scene and actions of officers. An act considered prior restraint of his First Amendment protected right to freedom of the press. That's a great point right there.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of Franklin shining his light into Bruce's camera. As you can see, it completely blinded out Bruce's camera. Franklin told officers he didn't make the call for service, and Franklin responded for him to go away. Redmond asked why Franklin was being rude to him. Franklin responded, "I'm not being rude. You have nothing to do with this. You need to go away." Franklin did not indicate where Mr. Redmond should go. Just said he should go away or he would be interfering. Instead, he barked orders to a citizen, merely asking questions about police activities in his area at nighttime. Either that or I'll put you in handcuffs for interfering, is what Franklin said. He told Bruce, "You have nothing to do with this."
Yeah, we might as well just play it, I guess. Let everybody.
Yeah. I'm trying to just simplify this. Yeah, let's play the video here. There's the video. I have it queued up. Do you guys see that?
Not yet. We're still on the.
You don't see this?
No. We're still in the lawsuit.
Okay, I don't understand. Oh, man. Let me hit play and see if that works. You don't see the video?
All we've got is the audio.
All right, let me see if I can figure out what's going on. Oh, we lost Mark. Add to stage. There you are, Mark. I didn't know you were missing.
I'm trying to get back to where I could even see you.
There we go.
Well, I switched my tabs.
I'll go back to that when you were at that one. Yeah, exit on the X. Right.
I don't understand why it's not playing this video. Are you sure you don't see this video now?
No, we're still on the.
No, lawsuit paperwork.
What if I? Okay, let me just do this. I'll start over. Okay, here we go. Now can you see it?
Yep.
All right. Let me make it large. Okay, so this was the first incident in the lawsuit at the boat ramp.
Correct. God, dirty ass lens.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, can you not do that? Sure, there's. What are you doing that for? Hey. Can I help you? Oh, I heard a call for service, and I was just seeing what you guys were up to.
You made one.
Huh? I didn't make a call for service.
Okay, then go away.
Why are you being rude to me?
I'm not being rude to you. You have nothing to do with this, so I need you to go away. Either that, I'll put you in handcuffs and go to jail for interfering.
Interfering with what, sir?
Or investigation.
But I don't understand what you're investigating. I'm a local homeowner, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You have nothing to do with this, correct?
No.
Okay, then go somewhere else or go to jail.
Why are you threatening me with jail just for asking you?
If you don't leave, you're going to jail for interfering.
Sir, you're a public. Like, what? I don't understand.
Let's go somewhere else.
Why are you causing a problem? Why are you being rude?
What this is?
It's not my business.
Okay, you're right, it's not. away. Go to jail. Just last warning.
Go away or go to jail for what?
First round arrest for interfering.
Interfering with what? No, I'm gonna leave. I'm on private property. Why are you beating me up, dude? Oh, what are you doing? Yo.
Damn.
Or I said yo right there. One of them
This the
thumped me in the
police
back of the
department?
head with the handcuffs. Fucking hurt.
Damn.
You said you were on private property at the very end, but you were not on private property. That's public
Yeah,
boat.
well, so that's HOA property. So that's owned by all the homeowners. So it is considered private property right there. That's not a public boat ramp.
Yeah. So that was Franklin that arrested you, right?
Yeah, and then that was Bilbrey that turned off my phone. Like they were so worried about me recording, they actually turned my phone off before they had me handcuffed because they hit me in the back of the head with the handcuffs while they were shutting off my phone.
So
And-
Bilbrey was there again?
Yeah, that was Bilbrey.
Sorry,
That's-
I interrupted you.
Like my first interaction. Well, that's my first interaction with any of them because that was like my first like cop watch, or one of my first 2 or 3 cop watches right there.
Yeah.
So you know, I didn't know anybody. I hadn't been through the ringer yet.
Boy, Bilbrey just keeps popping up on all these bad police encounters with Galveston.
Yeah, man. And now she's a canine officer, and that kind of scares me a little bit, you know, like
Yeah.
when you have somebody with that kind of aggressive intent and then their weapon is a canine, you know, like I don't know, man. Like I'm an animal lover, and I don't like this whole canine officer situation. It messes with me, but whatever. That's another conversation for another day. So
for y'all that aren't familiar with what happened with Layla O'Brien, Bilbrey was the officer that initiated that whole fiasco, and Jared Rivas and Officer Aguis literally beat that woman senseless. I mean, she has lifelong injuries, and Bilbrey sat there and initiated it and backed the blue and then helped cover it up and lied and just
Yeah.
a real piece of trash. And I posted a video on my backup channel the other day. And we don't know the whole story, but from the way the scene looked, and by them not wanting to tell us what was going on and not giving us an incident number, it kind of looked like she hit somebody with her car and then arrested them. But we don't know. That's speculation.
Yeah.
I did put in a public records request, but the gentleman was arrested, so they're probably going to use government code 552 pending investigation. But I'm getting off the subject here.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the boat ramp.
Yeah. So neither one of them had body cams on. It was a whole shit show. And then they threw me in jail basically for the night until I could get out, and then ended up charging me with nothing. They just let me. I bought it out and they just let me go. You know, so I got no charges for that even.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, they didn't even file charges on me.
Wow.
They just put me in jail overnight and then let me out. Like, and that's how like all this started, was because that arrest was obviously such bullshit, you know, and they didn't even write a charge on that one. So then you know, a little bit of time goes by, and then let's get back to my complaint there, and let's move on to the second incident. And the second incident happens basically 6 months later. But over the course of this 6 months, like I take like 7 arrests and like 12 charges, and a lot of stuff goes on. But let's flash forward to the next one.
I was just going to say real quick, man, they are so used to getting away with their garbage and their tyranny that they just thought that if they let you go, they would never hear another word about it.
Yeah, they kind of figured I would just disappear, and then I just kept after them. So they just kept, stacking up these bullshit charges, because most people aren't going to spend $5,000 on a lawyer to defend a $300 ticket, but I'm trying to do something different here, So, so I stood up to them. So they just started stacking tickets thinking that was how they were going to get me to shut up. And instead I'm fighting them, with the help of CJ and, this community. It's really been, a lot of help keeping things rolling. So, All right, let's get back to this.
All righty. Let's see here. Okay, so this is still the incident from the boat ramp. Just want to remind everybody that this lawsuit combined 3 different arrests. So we just looked at the first one.
Yeah.
Got it.
And we're going to scroll down. This is still talking about what we just watched. There's another picture from the video that we just watched. Okay, number 2, driveway incident. This is with the infamous Joel Caldwell.
Yeah.
And it says, on January 1st, 2023, Bruce was in his driveway preparing to fly out to his grandmother's funeral. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was 2 days after. Like, I almost missed the flight because I was in jail.
When he noticed City of Galveston in his driveway, police. Defendant Lieutenant Caldwell was observed sitting in the cruiser, laughing and talking on his phone. Mr. Redmond was aware of recent issues with theft in the area and was curious about what was going on. Excuse me. And he began filming the scene from his own driveway. Mr. Redmond approached Caldwell and inquired as to what was going on. Caldwell's expressions changed from jovial to angry and frustrated. Caldwell opened his door, exited the cruiser, raised his arm, and sprayed Mr. Redmond in the eyes with pepper spray. Unbelievable. Mr. Redmond asked why Caldwell sprayed him with a chemical spray, and Caldwell responded by deploying his less lethal police-issued taser against Mr. Redmond without explanation. Boy, that shit pisses me off, y'all.
Yeah. I don't even like listening to you read it.
Caldwell then re-energized his taser while Redmond again asked why Caldwell was attacking him and turned his back to protect himself from another taser shot. Caldwell then either kicked Mr. Redmond's right leg out from under him or hit it with a club. And I'm thinking, Bruce, he used his flashlight probably.
Maybe his flashlight or his club because of like the muscle damage, but he did actually tase me twice. So there's a little bit of a mistake in there, but whatever. But it's in some other paperwork. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, from videos I've seen of him, and when I've encountered him, whenever he gets mad, he always pulls out that flashlight. So it's just speculation, but he could have possibly hit you with that flashlight.
That's kind of what I'm thinking because it's like a 2-inch wide, 6-inch long spot on my leg where the muscle tissue got tore, and it looks just like I got hit by a baseball bat or a flashlight or something. So, anyway.
Mark, you have any comments or thoughts while we're here for
no, just I'm just
all right.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's crazy, unbelievable. Yeah, that first
we ain't done yet. So check this out. Check it out. Let's just keep going, man. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, it's going to explain that in the lawsuit, I'm pretty sure, because this is a big part of the lawsuit. What he did to his phone is a big part of the lawsuit. While on the ground, Caldwell placed his knee on Redmond's back and started pounding his face into the gravel. He was then tossed into the car, belly down, without his belt or flip-flops. At some point during the attack, Mr. Redmond lost control of his phone. Google location loses connection with the phone at the exact same time as this arrest, suggesting that Caldwell turned it off. The phone
and the GPS there too.
The phone has never been seen ever since.
Wow.
So what do you think he did with your phone, Bruce?
I think that he smashed the phone, and then like when he grabbed my flip-flops and belt, he put it all in a bag and then just ditched the bag. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Because then they got my shirt off because of the pepper spray. So they threw me in jail in nothing but a pair of shorts. And then when they let me out, they threw me out at it was January, and they threw me out at 10:30 at night in nothing but a pair of shorts, no shoes, no shirt, no nothing.
So you never got your phone back that had the footage of this
no
encounter.
But we do have body cam, but he didn't turn it on until after I was already hogtied on the ground.
That makes perfect sense. When they arrived at the police department, Caldwell cut off Redmond's shirt and hosed him down like a dog. Caldwell told Mr. Redmond that he was lucky Caldwell didn't shoot him. His body camera appeared to be on at this time. Caldwell admits to watching First Amendment auditor live videos and then warning officers of their presence as if their camera is a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, that's it on that one, right?
Yeah, because there's no video. We have a body cam, like I said, from Caldwell, and that's the only other video that's out there. And so this is kind of one of those difficult ones, because no video, no proof, and that was the thing. He knew what he did. He knew that I caught it on camera, and he knew he was fucked.
This happened before me and you even knew each other. Am I right?
No, you had come down that first time. Okay.
Yep.
And we went out and did all that work. And this was like in between that. And then when you came down full time, like when you moved closer.
So after he pepper sprayed you, why do you think that he thought he needed to tase you after that? It sounds like this guy just likes inflicting pain on people.
Yeah, man, there was absolutely no need for it. I was just standing there with my phone in my hand, and I was like, "Why'd you do that?" Like
in your own driveway.
Yeah, I mean, you've been around me in those stressful situations, and you know how I am when I just get quiet. You know what I mean, and try and talk as soft as possible, just to not escalate the situation. I don't want to be the guy escalating. People need to see the cops that are the ones driving this. So I was not being in any way, shape, or form out of control, so it looked really bad for him, and he knew it. So
I imagine, Bruce, that you never had any desire to record cops in your spare time or start a YouTube channel. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, it wasn't really. It wasn't originally a thing. What I had been watching it because that whole sovereign thing, I'd looked at that at one point and thought it was kind of interesting, but as I delved in, I kind of went down this path of just the more constitutional situations, and I saw some stuff going on in my neighborhood, and I just figured I'll take some video of it, just to document what does go on around here. And the first time I videoed, they illegally ID'd me by grabbing my dog's collar. And then the second time I videoed, I was arrested. And that was how it all started. This was that first complaint was like my first arrest. Or like my third arrest and third time filming the police.
So Reluctant Prophet, I know your story too, and like you were kind of forced into starting your YouTube channel. You didn't want to film cops and start your YouTube channel. I mean, it's kind of similar to Bruce's story. They kind of forced you into it. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shit happens to you, and you got the cops who are trying to demonize you, and you don't feel like you have any recourse. Like Bruce didn't have his phone, to show the evidence, and you just kind of feel helpless, and you want to get your story out there. Yeah, I totally.
Well, and they get to control the narrative by arresting you and holding you on the side of the road and all this other stuff. And, you got to be able to take some of that control back somehow, because it's a pretty crazy thing. People think that it's just the jail that's the effect, and the fines. But, when you're in small communities and stuff, if you're always getting arrested, it's not like everybody doesn't know, man,
Yeah, I'd be interested to see the incident report or the narrative, because that's what always finds, I find interesting is the interaction. You're out there and you're like, you see it one way, and then you read the incident report and it's like, he was rude, he was aggressive, he did that. So they're painting that picture, and you don't have any recourse. That's a violation of your 14th Amendment, due process. You know, and they're just putting this on the record as if it's fact.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, while there's some false stuff in his narrative, even his narrative at face value is pretty much exactly what I said happened, which is,
Wow.
yeah. But I've seen two different narratives, you know, like I'm curious what's going to show up in court.
Was he the only cop on scene?
Because I think he contradicted himself in two different statements, and I'm really hoping that works out. You know how that is. But
yeah. He was the only cop on scene.
Yeah. So, he works for one of the businesses there. So, because he runs a private security thing. So he was doing security work for his private business while he was on duty and was sitting in front of their building, and he was talking to somebody, you know? Okay. So, yeah. So it's kind of, yeah.
Interesting.
But, you know, it's an industrial or a commercial area. So there's like lots of equipment and stuff, like, you know, our tractors and our other stuff for our businesses, you know, and, you know, aside from the gas, people stealing gas all the time, you know, somebody made off with a skid steer a year or two ago, you know, they just hooked up to the trailer, took the trailer and the skid steer, you know? So yeah, keep your head on the swivel. And I got my ass beat for it. Like, I wasn't like trying to do some cop stop or something, you know? I was actually, it was late at night, but I was trying to get to my grandmother's funeral. So I was, you know, how it is when something comes up like that, you got 1,000 things that you got to get done in 3 days, you know, to be gone for 2 weeks, you know? So I don't know. It was interesting, but we can move on to the next one. And the next one is kind of like this weird progression as to how they do things, you know?
And it's crazy. Everybody needs to remember that name, Caldwell. He's probably got one of the worst reputations out of any police officer in Galveston. Am I right or am I wrong on that? I know I'm right, but do you have anything you want to add, Bruce?
Well, you know, he ran for sheriff, and one of his platforms was that he didn't think that Galveston was cruel enough to people who broke the law. And that should just say enough right there. They're having like 2 or 3 people die in the jails. He was going to be overseeing the jails, and they have 2 or 3 people die in those jails every year or expire.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because your third arrest that we're fixing to go over also involved him, and we have video of that because Bruce was live stream. Bruce learned from the first arrest. Okay, this asshole stole my phone, destroyed my phone, and according to Google, even Google's own analytics, that phone never existed again at the same time as his arrest. Well, Bruce wised up. Bruce live streamed the next arrest, and there was nothing that Caldwell could do with that. And
let's move on to that thing. That's kind of an interesting one.
And we have video of this one. And not only did he arrest Bruce, but he arrested 2 more people. And the 2 other people that were arrested in this next video, they have all filed suit against Caldwell. So how many lawsuits does Caldwell have on him right now, Bruce, that you know of?
That I know of? Man, there's 3 just from this one. And, you know, it's hard to say because, you know, there's probably some stuff that hasn't been filed yet that is definitely on the way. But he's got to be looking at a half dozen of them. And he just laughs about it. Remember, we were on scene, and he just laughs about it. He thinks it's funny and it's part of the thing, and that he can just, you know. But when we get to the end, we'll talk about where this is at, and I'll give everybody an update on kind of what's going on. So let's get through this next one.
Yep, let's go. Okay, here's number 3, false arrest. March 17th, 2023. Bruce was filming a DUI stop. Bruce was filming a DUI stop initiated by Galveston police. He was standing on a public sidewalk. Hey, Mark, will you mute your microphone for a minute?
Sorry.
While I read this.
Go for it.
On March 17th, Bruce was filming a DUI stop initiated by Galveston Police Department. He was standing on a public sidewalk up against the wall with plenty of room for individuals and bikes to walk. People can run or cycle or whatever.
Yeah.
And here's a photo of that. And as you can see, there's Austin, there's Bruce, and there is Nick. There's three guys standing there. And they're just like CJ's complaint says, they're standing up against the wall. They're not blocking the sidewalk. And then we got asshole defendant Caldwell showed up as backup approximately 15 minutes later into the stop and immediately shined his flashlight into Mr. Redmond's camera to prevent him from filming. Okay, let me give everybody some context because I know this story pretty well. As you can see by this police car right here, this is not a Galveston police cruiser. This is a University of Texas Medical, which they're on Galveston Island too. So these three guys were recording this traffic stop and there was no problems, but one of the neighbors came outside and the neighbor was drunk and the neighbor started hollering and screaming at the three guys recording the police. This guy was a bootlicker and he was saying all the crap. They don't need you recording. Leave them alone. They're doing their job. So UTMB called Galveston police to come out because the neighbor was being disorderly and hollering at these three guys recording. Well, Caldwell showed up and didn't even investigate the disorderly drunk guy. He immediately went after the three cameramen that he knows he hates, and he arrests. Okay, here's a picture of the video. There's Caldwell shining his light. A few minutes later, he crossed the street to speak with another citizen who was being harassed by the subject in custody. Two other citizen journalists followed him and filmed from a safe distance. While filming the interaction, Caldwell arrested one of the journalists for impeding a sidewalk while he was standing next to a building filming the public interaction. He then ordered another officer, Officer Stewart, to arrest the other journalist who was filming from across the street. And here is a photo of that. You guys, when you see this video, you're just going to see how ridiculous this shit is. Defendant Caldwell began using excessive force against one of the journalists, so Mr. Redmond walked over to film the encounter. Caldwell ordered Mr. Redmond to stand against the wall, and Mr. Redmond complied. Defendant Caldwell then walked back across the street to speak with the other citizen outside his or her home. Mr. Redmond continued filming the arrest of other citizen journalists from the location Caldwell instructed him to go. When defendant Caldwell returned to where Mr. Redmond is, Caldwell says, "You're on the sidewalk. You can't be there." Unbelievable. And then arrested Mr. Redmond for impeding a sidewalk and public intoxication. Live video of the incident clearly shows that the sidewalk was never impeded and citizens were free to walk past Mr. Redmond unobstructed and unimpeded with their dog. You guys, just for context, Mr. Redmond is Bruce, aka Galveston Island Transparency, just in case anybody was confused. Mr. Redmond spoke clearly the entire time, did not exhibit any signs of unsteadiness nor any indicators of being intoxicated. Defendant Caldwell uses this excuse to simply punish those whom he does not like that are filming him. Mr. Redmond repeatedly demanded a breathalyzer to prove he had not been drinking. Caldwell refused to perform a field sobriety test or breathalyzer analysis on Mr. Redmond to determine the extent, if any, that he would have been intoxicated, but threw him in jail anyway. At the jail, Caldwell informed Mr. Redmond in jail that he would arrest every person coming over the causeway to record the police. This is evidence that his actions against citizen journalists are premeditated and calculated to violate the rights of citizen journalists. Caldwell also arrested two other citizen journalists filming the encounter. At no time was Mr. Redmond instructed to move or to where he should move. When defendant Caldwell arrived, he simply let his power go to his head and began arresting anyone he wanted. Officers then tracked down Mr. Redmond's vehicle and had it towed for no reason. Mr. Redmond was forced to pay over $300 just to get his vehicle out of impound. And we have video of that too, you guys, because after they arrested Bruce, he left his dash camera running. And I think that is included in this video that we're about to watch. Throughout this entire ordeal, Sergeant James Stewart told one of the subjects several times on camera that the only reason he was arresting the individual was because his supervisor, Lieutenant Caldwell, ordered him to, and he was required to follow lawful orders.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So he didn't get named in the lawsuit, but it was a discussion on this lawsuit, and he did get named in the other two lawsuits for this incident and for a reprimand for failure to intercede.
Yeah. I'm almost done. It says, throughout the ordeal, other citizens without cameras were on the same sidewalk, but were not arrested for impeding the sidewalk. Defendant Caldwell was later suspended for his abuse of office and violations of citizens' rights against the plaintiff. And that is true. After he arrested you three guys, they immediately suspended him, and we thought something was actually going to get done. But after a little time went by and most of the public forgot about this, he was back on the street like he never missed a beat. And the whole time he was suspended, he was getting paid. So he basically got a paid vacation for this bullshit.
Yeah, man, he was running around in his shorts and flip-flops having a good old time on the taxpayer's dime.
Hell yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It was halfway to a musical if we rhyme a couple more times.
We lost Reluctant Prophet again.
No, okay. You didn't lose me. I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Easy.
Okay, so do we want to watch the other video now, or do you guys want
to? Yeah. Let's see that. And then we'll do a little cap off at the end, and that should put us right at about an hour.
Yes. Okay. Do you guys see that?
Just to correct you real quick. Just to correct you real quick, Harvey.
Okay.
They did have a reason to tow his vehicle.
Oh.
That way they could get some more money.
You know what their actual stated reason was?
What's that?
Was 22 inches away from the curb, and the maximum allowed distance is 18. But the curb is like 2.5 feet tall there, so you can't actually open the car door.
Yeah.
He literally got his tape measure out and measured his tires off the curb.
No, he went and borrowed it from that citizen across the street.
He went and borrowed it from the bootlicker that caused all the problems to begin with.
Yeah.
I would subpoena that tape measure.
I was going to say, I should have that thing. Take it into the
Never know if it's calibrated.
Take it into the comptroller and get it calibrated. You know, is that property calibrated? That guy was measuring pounder cans the other day with it.
That's right. I've gotten out of a speeding ticket when it was an undercover cop because I asked if his speedometer was calibrated and if he brought the recent calibration, and the judge threw out the speeding ticket.
Yeah, I did. I got rid of one on they were doing VASCAR. I timed it from here to here, and this is what it said. He was doing 78.2. I was like, man, VASCAR is not reliable. I could have been doing 78.4. You can't write a ticket for that. So anyway, my argument was good enough. The judge threw it out. Anyway, off topic. Are you ready to play that, Harvey?
Yep. I'm getting it set up right now.
Okay.
It's making me stop presenting and then represent to switch to the video.
Got to represent.
Where exactly was this at?
So this one, this was on like 27th and Broadway. So right there, UTMB has a campus, so they have campus police. We have 5 or 6 different police entities on the island. So you never really know
who it is.
Let me know when you're all ready.
You know kind of by where you're located, who's covering that area. Like
Sure.
There's harbor police for the harbor. There's UTMB police for that whole campus, and then there's Galveston police. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and roll.
So this starts out UTMB police, and then they call Caldwell and Galveston for backup. Here we go.
Let's get to the video and let me show you this disgusting mess that this disgusting police officer did. I'll see y'all later.
It's okay.
Do the fucking button.
We're gonna film here. Maybe.
Look at this guy. He's gonna be the next call. Don't worry. We film drunken disorderlies too. Keep talking, bud. He's on his way over now. Watch it. Yeah, I got it.
A lot of people are. A lot of people are.
I don't call 911.
A lot of people are.
I don't need the police to protect me.
So it turns out his nephew is a
I
Galveston
don't need the
police
police to
officer.
protect me.
Guy yelling.
I'm a free citizen. Yep. Right. And I've got
The
nothing to do
drunk
with it
ass.
before I can take
Can't
it.
even stand up.
What'd you say, Bruce, about the bootlicker?
It turns out that his nephew, I believe, is a Galveston police officer.
Mm.
Yeah.
He was definitely being disorderly.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that guy's being crazy over there.
So this UTMB police, they actually called the UTMB police weren't worried about these guys recording. They called for backup for this idiot over there hollering. And
Yeah, because
Yeah.
once he started hollering, the lady upstairs with the dog that shows up later, then she came down. She's like, "Well, they're waking up my kid or something," but it wasn't us. It was the yo-yo across the street hollering. Anyway, let's get back to that beautiful clean footage.
Man, you just keep on talking.
Why don't you do that? Stay over here so they can do their job.
We're standing right
They're
here.
doing their job.
We're in the public sidewalk, bro.
That's what you're doing. So looking for bullshit to time.
Don't engage the morons.
Get fucking lights. You ain't got a fucking light. You're out here trying to do something for a fucking community. You're a piece of shit.
Is this an iPhone
Thank you.
4 you're filming
Have
with?
another one,
I love
buddy.
you, brother.
You'll be
I love
okay.
you.
I love you too, but you know.
Couple
No.
more beers and you'll get over it.
It's like a Samsung A3.
Oh, gotcha.
We'll agree to disagree.
People they fucking kill. That's a
Man,
You know how many people they kill?
I didn't have my Galaxy back yet.
Just 2 days ago. Why didn't you
Yeah.
stop that shit?
Damn,
You didn't
that's
give me a call, buddy. I would have been right here. Just let me know and I'll come right over and film it for you, buddy. It's okay. I got your back.
Don't call us next time.
it was a live stream, so the quality ain't the best.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a live stream on like one of my backup phones because I still thought that they had my phone. I thought Caldwell had my phone still at this point.
Ah.
And then I went and
So what was
figured
the
it all
time
out
frame?
and went to go and get my phone back. And they're like, there ain't no phone, there ain't no belt, there ain't no flip flops. Like I didn't know for months that he disappeared everything.
Excuse me if I didn't hear it, but what was the time frame between this interaction and the last one we just saw?
So the last one that we saw or the last one we talked about?
Well, the last one, yeah, the last one we talked about.
The last one we talked about was in January, and this was in March. And there's
Okay.
also, I got arrested in February for interference, and something's probably going to happen with that one too. But
Wow.
so he arrested me once a month, and the other one was Caldwell as well. So he
Okay,
for
so
3 months
pretty
he
close
arrested me
together.
once a month for filming.
Gotcha.
Let's proceed.
All right.
Shit they're doing.
Promise.
Right.
You have a blessed night, sir. God bless you, man.
What you're doing is fucking wrong.
That's your opinion.
That's not my opinion. I know what you're doing. You're trying to paint
Okay.
them in a bad light.
Don't they say about opinion, right?
You're like an asshole. Everybody's got one.
You're a hero. They'll fucking protect you. Somebody shoots at your house.
So even though this was a live stream, I did edit this, you know, to cut out dead time and shit. So that's why you just saw that split right there.
Stand in front of her and protect you. You said you're trying to look for something that you're wrong.
He's still over there talking, guys.
Yeah, the original's over an hour long.
Damn.
Yeah, this original live stream was over an hour long.
It's almost 2 hours.
And I edited it down to 14 minutes and 50 seconds. And that's what we're watching now.
All right.
Yeah, and as soon as we get past my arrest, there's probably not much more to watch other than them. They stalk my van and shit. But anyway,
I'm pretty sure, Bruce, like when I edited this video and published this video, I think it was like 2 years ago, but I'm almost positive at the end of this video, we're going to see them take your van.
Okay.
But I could be wrong, but we'll see when we get there.
Okay. 10-4.
I'm on a public sidewalk, am I not? The traffic stop's complete. Don't have to cross the line. Is it illegal?
This guy over here. Now he's threatening violence. Hey, you're over here worried about this. This guy's over here threatening violence.
Yeah, this guy over here threatening violence.
You got a drunk guy over here threatening violence, and you're worried about us videotaping our public vehicles. How about you deal about the guy that's threatening violence?
But that's my vehicle.
It's on y'all to cover up private information.
But yeah,
Don't figure
Your inability to do your job isn't my problem, sir.
I just drive.
Stir it up more.
I want $5. $25.
139. Sergeant McGill? Okay. Sergeant McGill, do you understand if you have?
I don't want you walking up on So if somebody needs help, they can't walk up to a vehicle and knock for help.
Do you understand?
That's nonsense.
You're walking away from the drunk guy threatening physical violence. So worry about.
Y'all, look how wide that sidewalk is. I just want to point that out.
Like, I'm a heavy set, not heavy set, but I'm kind of thick. But like, I ain't impeding that whole sidewalk. I ain't that thick. I mean, come on.
That's the largest sidewalk I've ever seen in my life.
This is the biggest sidewalk in all of Galveston, probably.
Yeah.
About something that it shouldn't be worried about.
You're the only one here with the weapon.
When was the last time a guy with the camera attacked a police officer? Look that one up on YouTube. Yeah, so now we got GPD. Nice. Is he wearing his tiny jacket?
So this is where Caldwell showed up.
Bum, bum, bum.
I've actually seen this one.
Turn the light off.
Prior restraint, sir. Turn your light off.
It doesn't work that way, Bruce.
Yeah, it's called prior restraint, Caldwell. First Amendment. That's okay. Thanks for identifying yourself. Civil rights violation. I'm telling you. Irizarry versus Yahia. That's the case law. Prior restraint is what it is. You've been made aware.
Bruce nailed the case law.
Let's see how that qualified immunity works, you prick.
Hey, Bruce, were you being threatened?
Yes, sir.
Who was threatening you?
The guy in the white shirt, the skinny one.
Was there criminal charges?
Not at this point. You might. Well, he's just rattling his mouth off still. You just want to walk over there and take care of it?
No, not really. He's got the right. He's got freedom of speech, man.
What?
Yeah, he said he was going to come over and whoop my ass, just like you. He said he was going to pull a Caldwell. A threat's a threat, sir.
Yo, I'm sorry. I just have to pause it right here because I mean this guy with the one with the flashlight, he already sprayed mace on Bruce in the past, tased him twice for no reason. So you got to imagine, man, any normal human being would be terrified right now just by remembering what this asshole did to them in the past. Bruce, how are you feeling right here?
Yeah. You know, it's just you're just there in the moment, man. It's kind of like, yeah.
Right. You're brave, man. People don't realize, man, it takes big balls to do what we do, man.
You know, there ain't no running from it. It's there, you know, and it's kind of like, you know, you're saying reluctant. It's like at some point you can't back up anymore. I'm done backing up. It's time to just stand, and I'm done with it. And that's really what it is. I'm feeling slightly frustrated, and I think that, you know, it's the end of the rope, so to say, for policing, and they're pushing it too far, and people just need to. It's not an option anymore. It's a duty to stand up to it.
So this woman that we're seeing walking into the picture here, doesn't she play a role in some of this too, some kind of way? I can't remember.
Because she complains that her and her son were woken up, but it wasn't by us taking video of these police officers.
It was the guy hollering.
I mean, come on. Like, how far do you want to run this rabbit down the rabbit hole? Like, the reality of it is if the cops hadn't pulled somebody over in front of her house with a bunch of lights and sirens and shit, like, it wouldn't have woke them up. You know, we're just taking video. And then you got the drunk guy across the street yelling, like, I'm just taking video, man. Like, how am I the problem?
Yeah. All right, let's proceed. You got anything you wanted to add, Mark?
No, I agree with him. It's, you know, sick of backing up and sick of dealing with them lying and creating a narrative. And and when you get out there, like you said, Harvey, you never know when you're going to get arrested. It could be every single time, or, you know, the next time.
Oh yeah. All right, let's proceed.
Oh.
I see.
Now he's starting crap with the neighbors. Oh, so when he talks crap to her, it's a problem. When he talks crap to me, it's cool. We got you, Caldwell.
So right here, you can see Good Citizen News and Concerned Citizen using the crosswalk, walking across the street to film the interaction and the argument that's going on over there, and how Lieutenant Caldwell addresses it.
Nice. For what? Officer Caldwell.
He's under arrest. Go ahead, hook him up. Hook him up. Stop.
Standing on a public sidewalk, sir.
I'll hand me your rig.
Oh my God. No, that's ours. That's ours.
Wait. You guys, this tyrant is completely out of control, arresting people for practicing their First Amendment right. You heard him say that the cameras are ours now. What a tyrant, douchebag, loser Caldwell is. Also, he charged him with disorderly conduct. Everybody that's got any common sense of the law knows that the police cannot be the complainant. It has to be a citizen that files the complaint for disorderly conduct.
Now you're going to steal the rigs? All right, guys. There we go. Concerned citizen, Caldwell at his finest. Breaking rigs, cranking arms. He's not resisting. This guy's using paint compliance. Start making the calls.
You know this is wrong. You know this is wrong, sir. You know this is wrong.
Now, just by watching what we just watched, any skeptic can say, well, we couldn't really see, you know, what they did. They probably could have done something wrong. But when he arrests Bruce, there's no doubt that nothing was done wrong.
Yeah, it really highlights their intent.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, man.
There he is. He's cranking on. He's cranking on citizen, pushing him over. There he is. Just slammed Good Citizen into the side of the car.
And I just want to add that Good Citizen News did file a lawsuit on this arrest, and they recently agreed to a settlement like a couple of weeks ago. So not only did he beat this charge, but he also has already agreed to a settlement.
Wow.
Yeah.
They dropped all these charges.
Yep. Yeah, all these charges were dropped.
Arizona doesn't like to settle. I've never heard of anybody getting a settlement in Arizona. Well, I mean, there was a couple of ladies up in that are really egregious, but nobody that films the police.
Yeah, Good Citizen News got $30,000 settlement for this arrest.
Wow. Well, good for him.
They just agreed to it a couple of weeks ago. I don't think he's been paid yet. It takes a little while to get your money.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, it beats going through the whole. You'll see. I mean, I know CJ's helping you, but man, it's a monumental task.
Oh
to
yeah,
file
no,
a
it's going to get interesting. I've got some stuff that's going to come out in the next couple months that is going to be really interesting. So,
Well, shout out to Brandon
wait.
Grable, because Good Citizen News used Brandon Grable. He's a good lawyer here too, man. So shout out to him.
yeah, I think Grable took care of both of these guys.
Yep. All right, let's watch what they do to you.
Yep.
Pulling his hair.
I know, man.
That's Caldwell.
I'm not fighting. I'm not resisting.
We got him pinned up against the car.
I'm not resisting. In the fucking crack here.
His head's got damage on it.
Fucking being a violent pig.
All right, guys.
Y'all saw that? He was fixing to accost Bruce while he was saying, don't stand in the roadway. When Bruce was standing on the sidewalk, he was going to lie and arrest him for standing in the road, and then he realized it was too blatant of a lie, and he changed his mind and went back.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't checked the rest. I just got the gun off of him real quick and walking over here.
All right, Caldwell's got him in the back of 303. His wrists are bleeding. Good Citizen said that he can feel the blood coming down his wrist. I'm not sure if you noticed, but Caldwell was pain compliance, arms cranked all the way up the entire time. He was not resisting. That's what he does, man. Caldwell's the one that beat me up in my own driveway. Look at him sitting here smiling. He gets a good kick out of it.
Pissed him off.
I'm just standing right here on the sidewalk, sir. That's all I'm doing.
You're on the sidewalk here.
I am on the sidewalk.
You're on the sidewalk. You can't do that.
What are you talking about? I can't be on the
impeding the
sidewalk.
sidewalk. That's
I'm
correct.
not impeding
Put it down.
anything. Hey guys, he's hooking me up now.
You're intoxicated as usual. Too.
I'm
I
not
can smell it.
intoxicated. You're out of control. No, I am not intoxicated.
I just want to show you this clip of these guys parking on a public road. There's no parking signs anywhere, because after Caldwell arrested all 3 journalists, he found their car parked on a public road and had it towed. This guy is out of control, y'all.
All right, we're calling the Galveston Police Department. Oh, this is pretty funny. Y'all watch this. I forgot all about this.
Yeah, please, I'm speaking.
Hey, is there a officer on duty that I could give another officer a compliment?
What is
I took a page out of James Freeman's playbook, y'all.
it in regard?
Like, I'm a big Back the Blue guy, and I saw a video online of these jerks filming the police, and they got arrested for standing on the sidewalk. And I just want to say I support that kind of policing. I can't stand those guys.
Okay, I can let our sergeants that are on duty know.
You
know when this was?
I think it was Friday. I think Lieutenant Caldwell. There was just some guys, these idiots. They think they have the right to stand on the sidewalk and film you guys. And Caldwell arrested them for standing on the sidewalk. I wish he'd have beat them up a little bit and roughed them up. I would still support you guys if you guys would have shot them. I can't stand these idiots. I'm sick of seeing these videos online. You know?
Okay, yeah, I can let our sergeant know.
Yeah. So just tell them I really appreciate it. And us Back the Blue community, we support you guys. We don't care if you shoot them, rough them up, tase them in the face next time. We love it. So can't thank you guys enough for being terrorists. Thank you.
Very funny. Love it.
All right. So where we're at now is, I don't know, is that where you want to go? Kind of where these lawsuits are kind of at, as much as I can go into.
Sure.
First, let's see if Mark has any questions.
Yeah.
Well, Lieutenant, I can't believe he's a lieutenant. He sounds like a pretty big douchebag. I'm just amazed. I mean, I haven't really ran into any police officers, sheriff's departments that have, tried to tase me or rough me up for the most part. So,
there's a little bit of a, like, I've heard people say it's because Galveston used to be such a gambling kind of, like, it was the Las Vegas of the South at some point in its history, like 40s or 50s or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And all of that's kind of just hung around in kind of the ether, that it's kind of like that gangster kind of mentality, even when it comes to policing, in like organized crimey kind of way, I guess.
Interesting.
So
no, I'm interested to hear what where you're at with the lawsuits. Did you end up sending a notice of claim on any of these, or did you guys just file the lawsuit because there were three together?
We put all three of them together, and then we set the claim amount to be set by a jury. Is that what you're asking, or am I missing what you're asking?
No, I'm asking, like, it's, before you file a lawsuit, you send them a notice of claim. That way, maybe that you can get a settlement.
Oh, yeah. No, we just went straight to the lawsuit. We didn't even mess with that, especially with the three of them, because, everything happened in such rapid succession, kind of, even though it's the course of, it's not quite a year there. There was other arrests and stuff in there that we were trying to kind of just get everything lumped together and get it all done, and those are the three that we chose to run with. And
well, that one was January of 2023.
Yes,
2024.
No, 2020. It was January of 2023, so it'll be 2 years on that one.
You're coming up on the deadline
on that one. So what happened was we filed that like a week short of the deadline for the boat ramp incident.
Yeah.
And since we had to file that one, we went ahead and put in the other two that we already knew we were going to pursue. Just because, like, there's a filing fee and stuff, and you can just throw all three of them together and save some money and effort.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be saving effort down the road, but in the beginning, it definitely is. No,
so, yeah.
At least you got a lawyer on this one. I mean, for me, I split mine up into three. Even though mine were a little bit more connected than yours, but mine was pretty much the same thing. I had the two that happened, and then it was 6 months later when I got arrested. So those were my three lawsuits.
Yeah, so they're kind of doing their settlements in little groups, like on Good Citizens one, they actually told him that they knew he was going to sue for this incident that we just watched. He hadn't even made a claim or anything on it. Wow. They're like, we know that you're going to sue for this one. Let's just settle it and get it done. So
Arizona likes to go
how
through
they
the
are
pain.
now.
Arizona likes to go through the pain of, they get plenty of money, and I guess they don't have anything else better to do, so they want to go ahead and fight it.
Well, both of the lawsuits, so far as the officer's culpability and moving forward, had already been ruled on by the federal judges on the 1983 lawsuits. So they knew they were going to court, and on this one, like, the officer was suspended and our tickets were just dropped. Like, we all showed up to court and they're like, you guys don't have any tickets. You can go home, like, they knew that they were going to pay out on this one. So,
wow.
But that's the thing, is we're just going to keep chipping away at them until they can't be insured anymore. I think somebody else said that in the chat, just we'll run their insurance premiums up so high that they can't afford to have a shitty police force, fix it or fail.
Yeah. Right. Well, at least you guys have some people that feel like there's some accountability in their settling with you. Here in Tucson, they feel like whatever they do is justified, and they'll take it all the way to the end. That's what I'm dealing with these judges, the courts.
Yeah.
You know, my judges. You know, yeah.
To kind of wrap this up in kind of a reasonable package, like some of the criminal charges I'm still dealing with, but they're hopefully going to be figured out by the end of this year. But
wow.
Right now it looks like they've got us set up for a jury trial to figure this stuff out in September.
Yeah.
But I really think that, they filed all that because they needed some more time. Like there was a deadline approaching, so they had to move to the next step.
Yeah.
So I think that they just moved to the next step so that they had some time to assess what they want to do and give us some more time to figure out a settlement. But I have a line that I'm not going to go below. Like, the deal with this stuff.
Sure.
You have to figure out your own strategy, and each situation is its own situation. This
So
stuff
you're still dealing with criminal charges, and from I know from obviously the last arrest just a little bit ago, but from those first two or second two.
Oh yeah, man, I've got like almost a dozen charges I'm looking at still. Like,
you guys don't have a Rule 8 out there to where they got 180 days to go to trial, or
no?
Huh.
One of these charges.
Ought to look into it because Lane Myers out here. He's definitely doing a lot of good work, and he's holding
the judge
to the
kind
fire.
of flipped out and was like, "You guys need to get this done." And yeah, I do need to look into that. I've been kind of watching Lane Myers and trying to find anything that he kind of speaks about. I've been kind of delving into on the Texas side to see what we have that's similar. I'm really, I'm trying to figure some of this stuff out because I want to figure out how to pro se a couple things, but. Some of the stuff is
the statute of limitations were running out. Y'all had to file them when y'all did. Yeah. I just wanted to make it clear. I know some of the criminal cases are still pending, but you guys had to file. And didn't they made you an offer on these charges?
Yeah. They offered me like $15,000 for all three charges after being beat and all this other stuff. So like that's just not going to fly.
No, but they offered to drop all your criminal charges and only charge you for your dog not being on a leash.
Yeah. So all the criminal charges right now are looking at being dropped, except for they gave me a ticket for like my dog not being on a leash and not being vaccinated up to date. So
what the fuck?
And like, hey, you know what? That happened. All right. So I'm guilty of that. My dog obeys vocal commands and stands by my leg. I was more talking about the other thing, but I won't talk about that.
To me, it's mind blowing that these people think that they can control you to the fact of making your dogs get shots. It's just steal your money because they say your dog doesn't have a shot.
So, but basically, so that I'm paying money and it's not. You know what I mean? You know how these bargaining things are. So we'll just see how it goes. There'll be updates on my channel probably here in a couple of weeks, and a bunch of other stuff will start coming out too. But we need to see how this gets done. So.
Well, that's good. I mean, that sounds positive for you that they've already offered you some money, and it looks like it's going to be fruitful for you. I'm in for a long battle here with these fine, wonderful people.
That's rough. It'll be nice to get something coming back, to pay for all these lawyers, but then to pay for the lawyers going into the next round,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's good because it's kind of like starting, for lack of a better term, kind of starting up a business. You know what I mean? You got to get that capital rolling that is dedicated just to that, and because I want to be able to succeed at some of this stuff and really change some stuff here. So it isn't going to take money. It's just the way it is.
You might have already said this, but I missed it. But they offered to settle this lawsuit with you already, right? And you declined it. Can you touch on that? What did they offer you?
I think it was like $15,000 or $30,000 or something for like 3 arrests and 2 of them being violent, where I have, or as roughed up or pepper sprayed or tased. I mean,
That's,
you know,
that's
like,
oh man, I wouldn't have took that either.
you know, I'm in my late 40s and I got, blood pressure of a guy that likes barbecue, and some guy over there with the cattle prods or I mean, that taser's worse, and he zaps me, like tasers aren't non-lethal force. They're less than lethal. They kill a decent amount of people or cause, pretty serious damage. Like, I don't know. It's not I don't know. It's not as simple a thing as people seem to think it is. Tasers are dangerous.
Any closing remarks?
Sorry, what was that?
All right, I'm sorry I cut you off, Mark. Go ahead.
I said, don't tase me, bro.
Oh,
yeah. I got some closing remarks. I wanted to say that tomorrow morning is Mr. Gold's hearing at 9:30. Anybody that can show up. We actually got a couple people that came down from Phoenix. I want to give them a big shout out. We got Press Harder and West Side Accountability. We're going to have a few more people show up. So anybody else in town, come on by. It's at the Pima County Justice Court. And then the other thing I want to do is give out a shout out to Swamp Fox. He's going through some health issues right now. And then obviously Tuesday, Harvey, we're still supposed to hear about Hendry's sentencing.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that the 17th that he was going to get sentenced? He's in jail and waiting.
I think that's what it was, but I'll have to double check with Ty on that. I think you're right, though. Your memory is way better than mine. So I'll reach out to Ty and find out what's going on. Ty has been my plug on the news on him.
Okay. And I just found out today, like I said, we were talking the other day, and I wanted to hear what happened in Carolina's situation because I've been so busy trying to write. I've had to write a response to. So sorry, last week I was trying to hurry up on the podcast and get out of there because I had something to turn in on Monday. Then I had something to turn on Friday. I actually got an extension, and but I didn't even realize she got convicted.
Yeah, Carolina's in jail. She took some bad legal advice, and that's why you should. That's why you should be careful of who you listen to, and don't just listen to any fucking weirdos on the internet claiming that they can get you out of your legal troubles. It's not a good idea. But she's in jail right now.
Wow.
And I don't know what
for getting slammed on the ground on her face.
Yeah, dude, they really messed her up, dude. I mean, she's probably gonna have CTE and man, I mean, you all saw the video, man.
I did. It was on the news, and I can't believe that I heard there was a hung jury, and then they actually went through the process of trying her again. It's nuts.
Yeah, they had a mistrial because one of the jurors got sick and couldn't continue, so they had to declare a mistrial. Normally, when you have a mistrial, it goes for another month or two. They refile the charges. Not in this case. They were calling a new jury in 5 minutes after the mistrial. They weren't playing around. And another thing, when they slammed Carolina, they ripped her shoulder was dislocated, man. They really messed her up, man. Yeah, crazy. But I think somebody said I think she got 7 days. I've heard a few different things. I heard it was 30 days, but since the jail's offering 3 for 1, that it's going to be 7 days. Yeah.
It's still unbelievable, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks, Bruce. I appreciate you coming in and telling your story.
I wanted to see your shirt before we go, Mark.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I've been doing my legal work, so on reluctantprofit.org, I'm gonna be selling the Tucson Pro Say Idiot shirts. So
hell yeah!
I got a couple of more coming. I got a lot of lawsuits. I don't want anybody to donate, but if you like a T-shirt and you want to buy a T-shirt, you can definitely help me out and help the people in Tucson out. We seem to have a bigger battle out here going to court than you guys. You guys are over there like it's the freaking Harrah's and you're pulling the slot machine, and every time you turn around Harvey's got a big check on his freaking video.
Texas.
I want
is
a
the
big check.
Texas is the land of milk and honey, man. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it sucks to have to go through that, but yeah, I mean, what they're putting me through, and like, I mean, my judge, like Lane Meyer's wife worked for my judge. Like, she started dismissing defendants as soon as she was reassigned to the case. She denied my motion to leave to amend my complaint. Like, and then that was the third case, then the first case, and then the second case they put in a motion to include electronic evidence one day. The next day she approved it. The next day they entered the evidence, and then the following day the judge signs an order that I've got to go ahead and answer a motion for summary judgment and judgment on the pleadings, which are actually two different, Rule 12 and Rule 56, which are actually like it's not proper procedure to file those two together. They're just throwing shit at me to make my life difficult. So and I'm a pro se idiot, as you can see with the shirt. So with what's happened out here, I'll probably lose. Who knows? But I'm giving it my best. I'm definitely not a constitutional law scholar, some of these other people out here. I'm literally a pro se idiot that's just trying to learn as I go, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody.
Yeah, I've looked at trying to do some of it myself, and it's how much do you want to strap yourself in for?
So y'all, this is the guy I just pinned his comment. This is the guy who met me at the city council meeting and gave me these shirts, man. He says he wants to start cop watching with me. I've already told him that I think he should change his YouTube name. Man, check out the shirts he gave me, man. This one says nuts. Oh, my camera's screwing up. I'm gonna promote him. Hey, Sovereign Fool, if you want to drop your link in the chat. This one says nuts against tyranny, and it's got the acorn in the background. My favorite one. This is my favorite one, but it smells like cigarette smoke, so I'm not wearing it today. This is my favorite one. It's the free bird. You see the bird with breaking the chain? So if anybody wants some cool shirts, man, this one says fuck around and find out. And Sovereign Fool, man, he sells these shirts, man. And hey, thank you for the shirt, Sovereign Fool. I still don't understand the meaning behind your YouTube name, but I love this. I love the shirts, man.
You got to be confident to call yourself an idiot or a fool, right?
Yeah. I hate it when people call me a sovereign citizen, man. So, I don't know. He has his reasons. Yeah, drop your link in there, Sovereign Fool. Somebody might want to buy a shirt. They're really nice shirts, man. They're awesome, well designed. All right. Anything else? We're almost at an hour and a half here.
Yeah. No, I'm good, man. I really appreciate everybody tuning in.
All right.
Listening to my story. I've got a bunch of updates and whatnot coming up here early in the year. So,
yeah, good luck with your lawsuit, Bruce, and Mark, Reluctant Prophet. Good luck with your lawsuits too. We'll keep everybody notified if any news comes in. We're going to end it on that note. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.